Promote your brand here at Viral Hip Hop News. Email me, samant@vhiphopnews.com. No, wait, let's
go. A lot
go.
going on in this world right now, Judge. It's some craziness. Obviously, Kanye is in the building and making a lot of noise out here in these streets. But before we get to all that, how do you feel about just 2022 in general at totality and how everything's going in our world in America right now?
About 4 years ago, I said we needed to do something to heighten the contradictions so people can see what's really going on. Well, that's happening. And one of the things that I think is the biggest threat going right now is what we're doing to suppress free speech. What they're trying to do to Kanye is an example of that. I mean, what he said, hey, that's supposed to hurt somebody's feelings? Well, too damn bad. I mean, but the example is he's looking at something and he sees it on screen, right? So people get it. Let's say it's the Super Bowl and they've got a controversial play. Did the guy catch the pass inbounds, making it a first down, or does the ball go over to the other team? So they're showing the replay and people are sitting around, a bunch of them looking at different televisions in the same house and go, man, dude was inside, man. He was inbounds, man. No, he wasn't, man. Dude's foot was out, man. You saw that.
Right.
And see, you're supposed to make something like that liable for damages. What the hell are we coming to? And see, the other thing that I do not like about this George Floyd bit is there's other stuff that was not put out there much, but it showed. There was video, for example, before all this broke down and him getting put on the ground. There's this young black guy out there saying, hey, man, mister, I don't know you. They're going to take this money out of my check, man. I can't afford this. See, Floyd passed a $20 bill to get fentanyl. And he passed this counterfeit bill on this young brother at the store, the cupcake shop. So the young brother's going to have to pay that $20 out of his paycheck. So he said, man, I can't afford that, man. Would you get the money back, man? And he basically gets told to get lost. So, I mean, that ain't right either.
Right.
And fentanyl is a bitch, man. I had cancer last year. They tell me I beat it, but they gave me fentanyl, and it says big as daylight on the container. It's in red. It says, warning, this reduces your respiratory function, sometimes dangerously. And what was going on in this thing, and I'll just tell you, forget commenting on what was going on there. I had this done to me, demonstrated by my late brother, the Grand Master of Martial Arts, the late, great Dr. Clifford Stewart. My brother died last year. And he showed me how to do it. And what happens is when you press on somebody's carotid artery complex on one side, you reduce their flow of blood to the brain, but you don't knock them out. What you do is you make them feel like they're 12, 14,000 feet. So they can keep breathing for a long time, but you let go of it after a while and they got a bad headache, but they aren't moving. Now, you get the guy down on the ground, let's say if it goes like it's supposed to, and you suppress this blood flow to the brain, all of this is going to happen. Let's say you put him under fentanyl and he's going to have a real problem, but he's not going to die. But if somebody puts a knee in his back, like let's say, for example, a heavy-set white cop that comes in second, what happens is this guy that you're doing this to has got to labor to breathe. And when you put the knee in the back, what winds up happening is mechanically he starts heaving reflexively, and some other people get involved in it, and that kills him. And let's say the DA is too ignorant of what physiology is to go prosecute the second cop for murder, but only manslaughter. You know, I mean, it could happen that way. So somebody wants to call what they call how much of this is driven just by somebody saying, okay, $250 million, let's go after it. And then you got an extended family, and they got $28 million on a settlement against Minneapolis, which has, as last I heard, I may be wrong, but they had a $250 million liability insurance policy. So, and some family members may not have wanted to settle for $28 million, with a big chunk of it going to counsel who settles it.
Yeah.
And you've got all kinds of other things going on here, and people don't even get to understand them now, because who wants to print this and risk somebody suing them for $250 million because they got hurt feelings? I mean, I don't get it, because I grew up, man, when we ran the dozen. Hey, man, I won't say nothing about your mama, man, but last night, man, we was over there. Hey, man, you didn't know about that because you was asleep, man. But I apologize, man, if you got a new baby brother coming in 9 months, man, and don't tell your dad, man, or whoever that dude is, be staying over there, man, because he was at work, you know, hey, hey, man, I won't say nothing about your mama, man, but she's so fat, man, she can't fit in the bathtub. But with 2 drops of water, man, that's why she can't get clean and she smells so funky. Hey, you know, we used to do this for recreation, elementary, junior high, and high school. What happened?
Let me ask you this. I'm going to get clarity on the fentanyl. Is it alleged that George Floyd took the fentanyl himself, or the cops gave it to him?
I don't know.
Okay.
They have video of him in that cupcake shop. He was acting like he was high. Okay. Now, it works. They get a little thing about the size of your fingernail, and it's on a little stick on. You stick it on your shoulder, and that's good for 3 days. Now, I was in a lot of pain. I had 3rd-degree burns on the outside of my neck and inside my throat from this radiation treatment every day of the week for 2 months. And that hurt. Couldn't swallow either. So I took it, but it works to kill what you're feeling. But man, you don't want that for a high. I would always say, move everything out the way, pencils, pens, anything sharp, because you're likely to hurt yourself or accidentally do something crazy. And that is, man, that ain't a good high, man, not at all. That's like wicked. It's like you get stuck on stupid to the point where you sit there and go, don't move, just go to sleep. Because you don't need to move, you'll do something stupid. And yeah, your respiratory capacity gets diminished. So yeah, all of the above. I don't know what he looked like. Well, let me not say, because I don't feel like defending against some fool complaint, but let's just say that a reasonable person observing the late Mr. Floyd on the security camera footage inside that cupcake shop might conclude that someone was under the influence. So I don't know. If you do that voluntarily and you don't need it, fentanyl, man, that ain't no good. And you know what my copay was on 30-day supply of that nasty stuff?
$3.
62 damn cents.
Wow,
man.
I mean, see, they have at major hospitals, they've got tons of this stuff, and it's easy for folk to snatch it and sell it, and a whole lot of it's coming across bootlegged and, you know, in bulk across the border these days. So, man, if you want to get yourself on fentanyl, that's dangerous. And they got a warning. Said 2 or 3 uses of this stuff can cause you to become an addict unless you're in severe pain. If you're in pain, man, some of that stuff from cancer and radiation treatment, man, that is a bitch, man. That is not pleasant. But, I mean, short of that, stay the hell away from that, man. And people are going to that. That's like, man, going to Dracula, bite me, you know, and forget long life, you know, can't come out after, you know, the sun comes up, but it's not cool. It's not cool. But I don't care whether I agree with Kanye or not. Some things I agree with him on, and other stuff I don't. But man, I defend his right to say this stuff has gotten so damn sissified and punked out with some of this stuff people are doing these days about, oh, my feelings are hurt. And oh, shame is so bad. One should never shame anyone, and guilt is such a hard thing. Yeah, some folk need to be shamed, and some folk need to feel guilty too.
Absolutely.